You want to get the most bang for your buck out of your exercise routine. Because of that, you want to use the best exercises possible to see fast results as a senior. But are there exercises that are superior to others? Indeed there are. In this video, you'll learn 6 of the best exercises to see results fast as a senior. You'll also learn about one important element that's even more important than the exercises themselves towards the end of the video, so stay tuned. First of all, when we see videos of exercises, we need to have certain criteria. How can we evaluate what's a good exercise and what's a bad exercise? After all, there are a million exercises for your chest or your stomach or your glutes or your legs or anything else. Are all exercises created equal, or are there indeed exercises that are better than others? There are exercises that are superior to others or more appropriate for different situations, age groups, etc. So here are some of the criteria that I use to help me figure out what's the most appropriate exercise for my client. One is, if you want to save as much time as possible, an exercise should work multiple muscles at the same time. Those are called multi-joint exercises. In other words, if you do something like push-ups, it's going to work three muscles at the same time. That's your chest, the front of the shoulder, and the back of your arm. If you were to do an individual exercise that works each one of those muscles, you'd spend triple the time. So one criterion is, does it work multiple muscles at the same time? A second criterion is that the exercise needs to have carryover to everyday life, whatever everyday life is for you, whether that's gardening, carrying groceries, opening jars, traveling, walking, going up the stairs. So the exercise needs to carry over to everyday life. You don't just want to look strong in the gym, but then that strength has no carryover to life outside the gym. You want that carryover. Another criterion is that it's relatively easy to learn. You don't want something that's extremely complicated that takes a long time to learn. You don't have a need for that, especially if you're not necessarily an athlete. So something that's easy to learn, you watch it once or twice, you try it once or twice, and you got the right technique right away. And a fourth most important criterion that I list in this video is that the risk of injury is low. Even if you perform the exercise incorrectly, it just makes it ineffective, but not dangerous. So of course, it's better to do it right. But if you're gonna do it wrong, at least you're not hurting yourself. You're just wasting your time, but that's why you do it correctly. So there are exercises that meet all 4 of these criteria. There are more than 6 exercises, but I'll share with you 6 of them. One great exercise for seniors to do is one-legged deadlifts. One-legged deadlifts work the muscles of the glutes, that's your butt muscles, as well as the hamstrings, the backs of your thighs, and your lower back muscles. The reason I like it so much is because it has a great safety profile and carries over very well to your everyday life. Anytime you need to pick something off the ground, this is the exercise that's going to carry over. In other words, if you need to pick up groceries, furniture, kids, briefcases, anything like that, this exercise is going to carry over very well to that. Another great exercise for seniors to do is an overhead press. It works the muscles of the shoulders and the triceps. This carries over to activities like putting jars or cans or sacks of potatoes up onto high cupboards. Another great exercise to do is lat pull downs. Lat pull downs work the muscles well of the lats, which is the large back muscle, as well as the biceps, the upper arm muscle. Another great exercise for seniors to do is squats. Lots of my senior clients complain that they have a hard time getting out of their chair, their couch, off their toilet, etc. Why? Largely it's because their thigh muscles, their quads, are too weak to do that. If you do squats, you'll strengthen your thigh muscles, and we'll talk about the element more important than the exercise themselves in a couple minutes. Another great exercise for seniors to do is seated rows. This works the muscles of the upper forearm as well as the mid-back. So if you suffer from poor posture, this one will help a lot. Also, if you ever go and you go to a restaurant, you go to the mall, and you try to pull a door that's extra heavy, this is the exercise that carries over to that activity. And a final exercise that I'm going to list here is some version of an incline push-up. You don't necessarily need to do push-ups on the floor because that's very, very difficult. But if you can start with your hands on the wall and you're pushing away from the wall, that's a great start. After you can do the wall, you move on to the counter, and then a chair, a couch, a coffee table, and on the ground eventually, maybe in a year and a half. Incline push-ups, as I mentioned earlier, work the muscles of the chest, the front of the shoulder, and the back of the arm. If you use these 6 exercises and you do them consistently, you'll find great improvements in your strength, your endurance, and your fitness levels overall. Now, if you're not sure about how to do these exercises and you want a professional to watch you to make sure you're doing it properly, we have a special service just for you. If you click on the link in the description below, it'll take you to our homepage where you can fill out an application form to see whether or not we can help you as personal trainers. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, we can do this over Zoom or WhatsApp video or any other technology that you like. If you fill up the application form, it's no obligation, no sales pitch, no pressure. It's just to see whether or not we can help you. So now you know which are the best exercises to do for seniors. Now, what do you do with them? How many days per week? How many sets? How many repetitions? How much weight? Let's cover that. Ideally, you want to be doing this about 2 to 3 times per week for 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions. What you would do is you would take the first exercise, move on to the second, third, fourth, fifth. Only once you completed all 6 exercises, come back to the first again. What this gives you is strength and endurance at the same time. Whereas the other way, if you're just taking one exercise, rest. Same exercise again, rest, it gives you strength, but no endurance. So you want to do it circuit style, where you're getting both strength and endurance benefits. Finally, how can you figure out the right weight for you? And I specifically stayed away from recommending a specific weight in this video. Why? Because A, it varies person to person. B, it varies muscle to muscle. For example, your legs are much stronger than your little biceps. And so how do you figure out the right weight at any given exercise? Here's how you do it. Aim for 15 repetitions every single time. If you can do 15 repetitions, raise the weight. And you don't need to do all 3 sets of 15 repetitions. If only one of those 3 repetitions is easy enough to do 15, then that's good enough. You don't need to do 15 in all 3. As long as you did 1 set out of 3 with 15 reps, time to raise the weight next workout. And that's exactly how you know what to do. If you hit 15, raise the weight. If you got between 10 and 15, keep the weight. If you got less than 10, lower the weight. That is your ultimate guideline of how much weight should you use, which also brings us to something that's even more important than the exercises themselves, the progression model. It's not called just strength training, it's called progressive strength training. The reason the progressive word is there is because every single workout, you should strive to make something ever so slightly more challenging than the workout before. Whether that's doing it 1 more repetition, 1 more pound, resting a little bit less in between exercises, and so on. You should strive to make everything ever so slightly harder workout to workout. If you like this information and you want more information just like this, whether it's videos or articles, and I publish a lot of articles, we have a special newsletter for people over 50. If you click on the other link in the description below, it'll give you the opportunity to subscribe to our newsletter, and you can always have the option of unsubscribing. Thank you and goodbye.